In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your window regulator on your Mini Cooper. It's located inside the door panel. Before beginning this job, there is a kit, a door panel kit for this type of car, for this car specifically, but I'm going to show you how to do it without it. We're going to start with a T27 Torx bit, and we're going to take out these 3 bolts. You can reach in with a magnet and grab those bolts. After you take out those 3 bolts, you're going to take out this little reflector. To do that, you're just going to put your trim tool underneath, and it should just pop out. And you have one more screw here. It's also a little short one, so you have 2 short ones and 2 long ones. I'm going to use a tool like this. It calls for a wedge type trim tool. So you're just going to slide it underneath your door panel. And there are little plastic holders that are attaching the panel to the metal. And you're just going to pop them out like that. And you're going to go along this panel all the way around and undo them all. At this point, I'm going to take off this trim on the speaker and pull it apart. Now we're going to take out this little piece here where their door lock is. And to do that, you're just going to slide your trim tool underneath and slowly pry it up. Now we're going to take our whole panel off. So there's little metal clips all along this edge here. And you're just going to pull it out. I'm going to remove our speaker out of its housing. To do that, you're just going to use a trim tool and pull it out. Behind there's a plug, and also on the other side there's a plug, and we're going to remove those. So to remove the plug, it's just a piece of rubber. You're just going to pull up on it. And remove it. Behind there you're going to see a bolt, and the same on the other side. And there's your other bolt. Now that we've taken the top 2 plugs out, we're going to take this one out too. Now we're going to remove the weather stripping. To do that, you're going to use a trim tool and you're going to pop out these little plastic push pins. You can even get underneath it if it's being difficult and pull it out with it. Just don't tear it because you do need these to be intact. And work your way over here and here and do the same. So once you get these out, you're going to pull this up and out. By lifting up. And you're just going to pick it up and follow it all the way down. Try not to bend it. It is shaped accordingly. And be careful of the glass. Pull that out. And you should have one more over here near the hinge. I'm going to scoop it in with a different tool and pull that out. And now we can take this out completely and get it out of our way. Set that off to the side. After you remove the weather stripping on the other side, you're going to go and remove this as well. And this is going to allow you to have enough room to get to the gears on the window. So remove that and set it aside. Now we're going to take out this big speaker. We're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver and take out these 4 screws. Once we remove those 4 screws, we're going to pull this out. And you can either leave it like that, or you can unplug it. These gears are holding the window to the regulator. You're going to need some bubble wrap or a rag, something to cushion the screwdriver against this window. It's a little dicey, but it is possible to do it without the special tool. Put a skinny flathead screwdriver with bubble wrap down through in between the window and the door, and you're going to spin the star towards the car with a rubber mallet. And the process is the same on the other side, so just do that carefully with the bubble wrap between the screwdriver and the window. Now that we're at this point, we're going to lower the window down. So in here, we now have the window lowered, so we're going to reach through here and finish unscrewing it. So continue going in the same direction you had been going in up top. And you're going to disconnect the window from the regulator by unscrewing this completely. And here it is. The process is the same for the other side. There you go. Now we're going to remove our window. Make sure you have a place set aside to put the window in so it doesn't break. You can also put it in the back seat. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to take out the 2 bolts underneath. There's one here and one on the other side. Now we're going to remove these 2 bolts. There's one right where that little speaker was. Just make sure you don't drop that bolt in. And now we're going to take out this bolt, same size, 10mm. Remove that bolt. Now we're going to take out these 3 Phillips head screws. And the last one. Now we're going to remove these white clips. You can reuse them if you can get them out without breaking. The new one comes with them, so it might be better just to take them out and replace them. So I'm using a trim tool. I'm just going to pry it out. Now there's one plastic push pin that you need to remove, and it's right here. It's right below this cable. Just remove this one by squeezing in on these ears and pulling it out on the other side. And now we can remove our regulator. I'm going to pull the regulator forward on this side so we can get to our connector. You also can get it through the speaker hole, but it's easier to do it this way since we're taking it out anyways. So just unplug your connector here by pushing in and pulling. And then we're going to take the regulator out with motor. Just do one side at a time. You want to pull these closer on the bottom towards the hole first, and then remove it. Now we're going to remove our motor and transfer it over to our new regulator. We're going to remove this screw first. I'm using a T20. And we're going to unclip it and just set it aside. Now we're going to remove these 4 screws. I'm using a T20 to remove these screws. Once you get to that point, you can flip over your regulator and peel it up a little bit. You're going to slide a trim tool in and pry it off. There's a lot of cable that's wound up. And you want to separate the gear from the housing. Remove that. I'm going to remove this from the bench so I have more room. And now we're going to put our motor on our new regulator. You're going to need some wire cutters to cut the zip tie when you're ready. And we're going to get ready to just install it. Make sure you know where you're going and line everything up accordingly. There is a little guide right here, and it goes in here. We're going to cut the zip tie. This is just for packaging. And now we're going to line this up. Make sure there's some grease on your gear here. It'll help slip it in. Line up the guide. There we go. I'm going to install 2 screws, and then we're going to remove this one and install our last screw. And this will just hold everything in place by putting the 2 in. On the new regulator, the size for this is a T10, so remove that. Set this aside by unhooking it, and now we can get to our other screws. Just make sure they're snug. We're going to hook this in and reattach the regulator to the motor and backing. Tighten this down. Make sure you're hooked in right. Make sure that's snug. And now we're going to install our new regulator with motor. Let's put our regulator in. We're going to put this side in first, and then we'll do the other side and plug in our motor. Doesn't have to be perfect, just stick it in there for now. And when you get both sides in, stop there, just line it up, push it in. You should hear a click. And now we can maneuver our regulator into place. There is a lip on the panel of the door that things will get stuck on, so just look down in here and make sure there's nothing there holding it back. Once you get to this point, you're going to go through the speaker hole and begin to line things up. I'll line up the bottom and the top for those bolts. The regulator does fit into a little spot in the bottom, and that's how you know that you are lined up. There's a hole up top and there's a hole below for these white clips to fit into. Just make sure you hook it in first at the top and then push it in like that. Do the same on the other side. If these aren't lined up correctly on the cable, you can push them down and move them where you need to. Before putting your bolts in the bottom and the top, you may find it easier to put your motor bolts in first. So make sure that these holes line up. If they don't, you may have to shift your cable down so everything lines up correctly. I had to do that, and now that we are lined up, I'm going to put my screws in there. So hold it from behind and just get them started. And we're going to go ahead and tighten those up. These plastic mounts on the inside of the door panel are adjustable. You don't have to move them. And if you do by accident, put them back where they were. You want to make sure your bolt is in the same spot, judging by where the washer was underneath. Your regulator should be in the notch where it belongs already. We did that before the motor. If it is not, you're going to have to take out your motor screws one more time, line that up first, and then tighten those up. Tighten those up. And now we're going to put our 2 bolts on the top. All right, now let's put our bolts on the top, line it up. Let's get them started first, and then we're going to tighten them up. I'm going to use a magnet, and I'm going to get that bolt started. You can just thread it in a little bit with your magnet. I'm pushing it forward, the regulator itself, so it lines up correctly. And once you get that bolt started, we can tighten it down. Before putting the glass in, make sure you put this plastic push pin through, and that'll hold that cable still. Now we're ready to install our glass. To do that, you're gonna slide your glass down into where the window lives. Make sure it's bowed the right way. And make sure you slide it in evenly. And you're going to aim for the bottom of the regulator. And it's going to slide into it. So once you get it somewhat in, you're going to look inside the hole and make sure it lines up into the holders. And you now can move it from side to side to make sure that the holes line up in the window. Now we're going to get one of these started. I'm going to slide it through and make sure everything's lined up correctly. If you feel like you need to lift your window up more, you can. And you want to make sure it's just hand tight. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Once you've hand tightened them as much as you can, you're going to go up and down with the window and make sure everything's working correctly. Now we're going to put this trim piece back. You just slide it down. You may need a rubber mallet to get it into place. Let's screw our speaker back into place. If you unplugged it, now plug it back in beforehand. I'm gonna get my top 2 started and then put the other ones in. Let's tighten those up. Don't over tighten it, it's going into plastic. Where you put those 2 bolts in at the top that hold the regulator to the door, you're going to put your plugs back in. There's one on this side and the other side, so just press it in. Do the same on the other side, another plug in here. Now we're going to put this little speaker back in. Make sure you line up that arrow with this triangle, and then press it into place. Now we're going to slide this back into place. Make sure your silver clips are on this side of this. And we're going to start on this corner towards the side mirror. and work our way down. Make sure it's lined up properly before you continue your way down. You can attach your push pins by pushing them in after you line it up. There are 2 on the inside one. Now let's push this down. And now we're going to line this side up. We have 2 holes here. So let's wrap that around. Push it in. Go down to this one. Push it in. And this one. Push it in. You can tap this down a little bit if needed with a rubber mallet if you feel like it didn't seat properly. Obviously, be careful of the window. Let's put our panel on. You're going to line up these clips in the door panel along the edge here. And you also want to line up your door lock rod. So I'm going to set this down. You're going to feel it initially go in, and you're going to press it in. Give it a tap. Make sure it's in all the way. Should be flush. And now we're going to press in the rest of the door panel. If you have any sort of resistance, it means it's not lined up properly. So don't force it. And if you peek down the side, you can see when they're lined up or not. Now we're going to put our screws in. The long ones go on this side, closer to the driver's seat. Make sure you just snug them up. Don't over tighten anything. Once you get those 2 in, you're going to go for this one. And the one up top where the reflector goes. And now we can go ahead and put our reflector on. To line up your 3 tabs and push it in. Now let's go right above that and put in this grommet for the door lock rod. Make sure that your speaker is in place and line this up accordingly. Don't force it. If it doesn't feel like it's flush, then you need to readjust some things. And it should just pop in. All right, so that's nice and flush. You have, now just check your work, make sure everything's where it belongs.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.